Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to do a video on my top 5 tools. I got a lot of feedback from a few of you. A couple of weeks ago I did a toolbox tour review, or a tour on my toolbox, kind of showing y'all what I have and how I use it, right? But today I'm doing a little bit of a different video. And well, I kind of wanted to show you all what my top 5 tools are in my toolbox. These are going to be the tools that I use the most and that I would probably highly recommend for you guys to get. I've gotten a few different tools since the last time I made a video, which has been maybe about 3-4 weeks. And I'll go over some of those in a different video. But today we're going to go over the ones that I use the most and how they've helped me out a lot. I mean, these are tools that maybe you not necessarily have to get, but once you do, they're going to make your life a lot easier. All right, so without much talking, let's get right into it. And today, my top 5 tool, or one of them, is going to be my sockets. Not necessarily all of these. I'm going to talk mainly about this low profile Sonic sockets that I got online. These ones you can pick up from eBay or Amazon, or I know that Home Depot now carries Sonic sockets online. You can order them and either pick them up in store, or I guess they can ship it to your home. So the reason why I like these is because they're very durable. They're chromoly sockets, and they have a really small profile. You can fit in a lot of places. You know, if you're doing tensioners or, you know, any type places really, maybe brake jobs or what have you, these little guys come in really handy and very durable. You can use them on an impact, or you can use them on your ratchet. Now, the biggest thing about these is that when you compare them to a regular size socket, which I'm gonna compare here right next to this other 15mm cobalt socket, look at the difference in height. You know, it's about a good, you know, 3/4 of the size of a regular socket would be. And these cobalt ones are good. They're just a little bulky and well, normal size. You know, there are times maybe when you might need something like this if this one is too short, but these are mainly used for tight spots. And what I've been using them for, I mean, they work great. They fit anywhere. If you need an extension, just throw on an extension on it. And if not, you know, they'll do pretty much everything you need them to do. Another one of my favorite tools in my toolbox is going to be this little Milwaukee impact driver. So the cool thing about this one is that it really makes, you know, removing fasteners a lot faster than doing it with a ratchet, or maybe doing it, you know, with a screwdriver or what have you. Cool thing is that it's got this hex bit adapter here, so you can hook it up with maybe a 3/8, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch square adapter on there, and, you know, remove whatever it is that you need to remove. So not only is this versatile when it comes to the drive size, but you can also use it with maybe something like this, like a Phillips bit, right? So if it is Phillips screws that you're removing, then you can hook this up to the chuck and then, you know, do fast work out of removing those screws all over, maybe on some fender wells or what have you, when you're working on you know, on cars. So definitely my second favorite. I mean, I use this a lot also when it comes down to doing maybe transmission surveys, oil pans, and stuff like that, where you have to remove multiple fasteners at the same time. This thing comes in super handy. The variable speeds up here, I mean, honestly, I use mine mainly on the third speed, right? But it also gives it a lot more torque. So when I'm doing stuff like that, right, I like to leave it maybe on number 1, and then just kind of use the variable trigger on this thing, so that it helps me, you know, kind of gauge how much force I really need on that fastener, right? So it's going to be on number 1, and then you can switch it over to number 2 if you need, you know, if you need to be faster, and then it definitely has that number 3. I tell you guys, before I got my 1/2 inch impact, this thing actually, you know, puts lug nuts on tires almost at 100 foot-pounds of torque. I think it is rated at about 100 foot-pounds of torque, and it really does deliver that. So that is why, you know, being so small, so practical, look at it next to my hand. This thing comes in great when it comes to doing engine work, suspension work. Even if you don't have a big impact, you can even use this guy taking out tires and putting in tires. Don't believe me? Try it out. This little guy's really strong. So that's why it makes my top 5 on my list. All right, next up, I picked up this Titan magnet from AutoZone. I think it was like $2. So the cool thing about this thing, I mean, nothing special, right? It's just a magnet. But, I mean, the thing about having a magnet is that, especially when you're working on an engine bay, these things come in handy. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've dropped my sockets and you don't hear them hit the floor, right? So something like this, you know, you extend it all the way out, right? It expends a lot more, but just kind of to show you, and it'll pick up whatever it is that you dropped. It's pretty strong, and you know, mainly to serve its purpose, which is picking up stuff you might have dropped under the engine bay or stuff like that, or hard to reach places. This thing will definitely do the job. I think it's anywhere from $2 to $3 at AutoZone, and it'll definitely help you out, guys. So definitely get yourself a magnet. If you don't want an expensive one, this is a really good way to go. Next one up is gonna be my Snap-on light. So I picked this up because I wanted something to help me, you know, work on my car, mainly, you know, at night or in tough to see places. I guess that's the part number right there, right? Cool thing about this light is that, you know, Snap-on advertises it as a fast charging light, which it really is. You know, it fully charges like in 30 minutes or so. And if you work at a shop, or maybe you're going to be using it, right, to work under a car or under the engine bay, this thing will definitely come through handy. I mean, the fully charged battery is going to last you maybe about 4 hours on high, and maybe about 7 hours on low. But if you're one of those guys like me that just wants to run it on high all the time, then definitely lasts you about 4 hours. Maybe go to lunch, put it to charge. By the time you come back, then it'll be good for the rest of your shift, right? Unless you're pulling a little bit of overtime. Let me see if I can show you here. It's got a high and a low on the flashlight settings. So I'm gonna turn off my light here, and then we'll turn it on to kind of show you how that works. So, all right. So here it is. Here's a flashlight, right? And I think this setting is on, I think this might be the high setting. Let me see. So all you got to do is basically push the power button here. I guess you push and hold. I really don't use the lower setting like I was saying. And then it'll dim it out. Let's see. All right, so you see how that kind of dims it out a little bit. So it's not as bright if you don't need that much brightness. But then you push and hold again on the power button. And then it brings it up a little bit lighter. Did I do it right? There you go. It's a little bit more dim right there. So even the camera can focus a little bit better. And then it goes to the brightest. So, I mean, pretty good flashlight or floodlight. I forget what it's called, right? But yeah, I mean, you know, it's got a magnet at the bottom. It swivels around in case you need to put it over the hood, or maybe holding onto a suspension component and lighting up your work area. Definitely recommend this light. Cool thing also is it comes with a, like I said, a fast charger. So it's got its own charger here. It's not the regular USB one, but that is definitely what makes this light charge super fast. So next time you see this flashlight, or maybe get on the truck and see it on there, ask your dealer about it. Really good light. And last but not least, guys, I want to bring up my 3/8 Snap-on ratchet. I had recently swapped the comfort grip on this one because mine was pretty beat up, and you know, this one's gotten a little dirty since then. Anyway, the reason why I like this ratchet so much is because it is really comfortable to the hand. All right. I know a lot of people prefer the ones with the hard handle, or the non-soft handle. I guess it's what they're called. In my case, I really like this one because you can carry it around, put significant amounts of torque. You know, when I'm working here on my cars, I really don't need anything that needs to be torqued really, you know, too much. This guy works perfect. I do like the capability of the flex hit. I know a lot of people might not like the flex hit because they feel like it moves a lot. But, you know, I feel like when you're doing stuff on your car, you know, a lot of the time, unless you're taking out, you know, pretty straightforward fasteners, then that's probably why you would want a fixed head ratchet. But something like this really comes in handy when you're using it, especially down on the sides, you know, maybe changing the spark plugs or something like that on your vehicle. So if you don't like the fact that it's too floppy, you can tighten up this bolt here on the side, and it'll definitely make it a little bit tighter so that it doesn't just move all around all over the place, which is the case on mine. I recently had the Snap-on dealer give me a new one of those, and it works really good now. So, you know, last but not least, I didn't really necessarily go in order as to which one I like the most, but definitely has to make the list. I know there's a lot of ratchets out there and a lot of competition. A lot of people saying that the Matco ratchets are better, or maybe even the Harbor Freight ones are better now, right? In my experience, I feel like this one's you can hear it right there. It's really, really fine teeth. I feel like the Snap-on ones are hard to beat, you know. And I've used a few different ratchets. I've used Craftsman. I use Matco. I've used the Icon ones, and none of them have that same feel that this one has when you're removing a fastener. So, in my opinion, you know, definitely makes the top 5 on my toolbox. And you know, I mean, it comes down to you, right? To use and compare your different ratchets and see which one you like, but give this one a shot. Try it out, see what you think. It's gonna be hard to get out of it. So once again, y'all, thank you very much for watching this video. Just want to let you know that if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like and subscribe. I'll be making up more videos, showing you a few more of my tools, maybe going over some of the good deals that I find online or in store. But yeah, let me know. Give me a heads up. Give me a like, a thumbs up. I'm sorry. Thumbs down if you don't like it. You know, share a comment with you and let me know how the sound goes on this video. Thank you. Have a good one.